So maybe recently you decided that you want to get back into shape, or you want to get in shape, or whatever the case may be, and you feel like, you know what, you really want to go into this fitness or health or whatever the case may be journey, and you're ready to get going. And then when you want to start, you don't know where to start, because let's be honest, there's just so much information out there, so many opinions, so many tips and tricks and things, and it's overwhelming, and you at the end of the day feel paralyzed by all of this information. And then what do? We just carry on doing nothing. So today I thought I'd talk about, if you don't know where to start, maybe we should start with the basics. So this might sound very boring, but I promise you it might help you just get into the swing of things, and then from there you can build on that, and then expand your your health and fitness journey, or whatever the case may be, to something that you feel is really working for you, something that is really sustainable, that you can be following in the long term. So the basics might sound boring, but the basics work. That's the most important thing to remember. So I want 2 or 3 minutes of your time just to convince you, hopefully, to try 1 or 2 things. And the nice thing about the basics is it's things that you can do today. It's literally things you can do straight after this video. So the very first basic thing that you can do to get you started with this new health and fitness journey, or whatever it may be, is to drink more water. Yes, I know it sounds boring and it's been said so many times, but it still stays important. And in general, most of us don't drink enough water because we either too busy, or we didn't pack a water bottle, or we don't have access, or whatever the case may be. So make sure you prioritize drinking 1.5 to 2 liters of water every single day. Whether that be sparkling water, whether that be adding lemon or ginger or mint leaves to your water, whether it be having a massive jug or a water cooler in your office. Think of practical ways that you can make sure that you'll be able to hit that water goal. Set a reminder on your phone, but I know the most important thing, and what works for most people, is to have water available to you on your desk, or in your bag, or in your car, or whatever the case may be. So get a nice water bottle that you like to drink out of, and hopefully that will motivate you to drink more water. The next tip you can start off with, that is a basic tip, is to increase your daily step count. Now, this you can easily do by parking a little bit further. So a lot of us are returning back to offices, which comes with its own complications. But let's say you are going to work, park a little bit further so that you have to walk a little bit further to your office, and of course back, so you get a little bit more steps in. The same when you go to the shops or the grocery store, park a little bit further so that you have to walk a bit further than just parking straight in front of the shop and not having to walk too far. And then if you can, and if you have the capability, go for like a 10 to 30 minute walk around the block before or after work, or if you have the luxury, maybe in your lunchtime. And also during the day, maybe just get up and walk to the water cooler, pour yourself a glass of water, just to get that movement going, because that daily step count is really going to add to your cardiovascular health. It's going to be really great for your mental and emotional health, and then of course it might burn a little bit extra calories. The next thing riding on that is, of course, to move more. This can sometimes be misconstrued into having an excessive training program where you're training every single day for an hour and a half, and it burns you out and you can't maintain it, and that's not what I'm saying. So with Body 20, what's nice, it's 20 minutes of really good quality training, which is amazing. So if Body 20 and taking a walk most days of the week, and Body 20 once a week is what you can do, great, that's awesome. And then maybe if you have some time extra over the weekend, try to spend some times outdoors and just be as active as possible. But do something that's sustainable, do something that you enjoy, that you can see yourself continuing to do, whether it's Pilates or yoga or going to the gym or joining a running club or whatever the case may be, but start slow and build on that. The next one is to limit your caffeine intake. Oh, I'm going to get a lot of backlash on that. We have a lot of caffeine addicts, and it makes sense because we are so rushed. We need energy, we need to be going, and unfortunately caffeine is where a lot of us turn to. Now, unfortunately, caffeine in excess is really harmful to us in terms of our health, but also in terms of your weight loss or your fitness goals. The main reason for that is just because it increases the cortisol levels in the body, which may lead to a low-grade increase in inflammation, and then eventually lead to tiredness and a complete burnout where you can do nothing and you feel your worst. So try to stick to a maximum of 3 cups of coffee or caffeinated beverages like tea per day. If you're having like caffeine drinks like Monster or Switch or whatever the case may be, make sure it's sugar-free. But we don't really want to go above 300 milligrams per day. And try to stop your caffeine intake before 2 in the afternoon so that you can get a good night's rest. If you love the taste of coffee, go for decaf coffee. Just make sure that it's a really good quality decaffeinated coffee, something where you can see that it's been decaffeinated through a Swiss water method and not through chemicals, for example. So a more natural method where they haven't added anything to remove the caffeine, but they've just extracted the caffeine, for example. This also leads me on to my next point rather, is sleep. Sleep is so important. Make sure to prioritize your sleep. Make sure you're getting in 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Make sure you are really, having that good quality sleep and sleep hygiene, which means that you reserve your bed for sleeping mainly, and also just, have a quiet and relaxing environment. Switch off your phone maybe half an hour to an hour before you go to bed. Don't sleep with your phone next to your bed. Make sure it's nice and dark. Make sure your room is cool. If you can, open a window or maybe have a fan going or whatever the case may be. But make sure you really make the sleep environment something where you can sleep as well as possible. I know it's not always for everyone, especially if you have young kids or whatever the case may be, but try and see what you can do to optimize your sleep. Then the next one I want to talk about is decrease your screen time. Now this is very difficult because we spend time in front of the computer and then we go home and you scroll on TikTok or on Instagram or on Facebook or you on YouTube or whatever the case may be, and we end up sitting in front of our screens or in front of our laptops for quite a while. This leads to us sitting quite a lot, also in a bad posture, which has a lot of implications for our health and our posture and just general spinal health as well. But then that spending time on the screen is also where we tend to see that has an emotional impact, and it also has an impact of leading to that falling into this laziness where we then end up just vegging out on the couch and not really moving. So make sure you don't spend too much excessive time on screens. Rather go outside, maybe go for a walk, maybe go for a bike ride, maybe go for a hike, or spend some time with the kids, play with them, or whatever the case may be, but be as active, and rather use that time to prepare your meals or to go grocery shopping or to online order your food or whatever the case may be. The last tip I want to add for this, getting back and starting with the basics, is to incorporate as many fresh or frozen, but fresh fruits and vegetables. This just helps you to get motivated. It gives you all those nice vitamins and minerals and fiber. It's easy to access. It's usually a lot cheaper than having like loads of meat and very interesting and wonderful superfoods and so forth. We get a lot of nutrients from our fruits and veggies, so make sure you add them to every single meal so that we're getting all the benefits from them as well. And it just in general makes us feel lighter and more healthy, and will get you going onto the next steps that you might have planned. So that's my spiel for today. I hope it's been helpful. Like I said, start with the basics, get the basics right, and then you move on to maybe more complicated things like doing intense exercise splits or adding supplements or adding a specific way of eating to your diet or to your lifestyle. Rather start with the basics and work up from there, and I'm sure it will be something that you can maintain, something that's more sustainable, and something that is doable and not going to cost you an arm and a leg, and something you can actually start doing today. So I urge you and I challenge you to start with one basic thing today and see if you can implement it, and really implement a few of these basics if you haven't already over the course of the next few weeks. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.